Taylor Townsend speaks out on rival's words after US Open disrespect. She doesn't understand. The US Open has always been a stage where emotions run high, where rivalries can spark with the smallest gesture, and where players are tested not only by the intensity of competition but also by the weight of words spoken in the heat of the moment. This year, one of the most talked about storylines came not from a breathtaking rally or a championship-winning shot, but from the aftermath of a match involving American star Taylor Townsend. After a heated encounter on court, Townsend spoke candidly about comments made by her rival, labeling them as an act of disrespect, and sparking fresh conversation about what respect, sportsmanship, and understanding truly mean in the modern game. Her words, "she doesn't understand," resonated far beyond the stadium walls. They carried the weight of years of struggle, triumph, perseverance, and the constant battle for recognition in a sport that often overlooks deeper narratives in favor of quick headlines. What followed was a wave of discussion across fans, fellow players, and analysts, each dissecting the layers of Townsend's powerful response. The match that sparked the debate. The context of the dispute matters as much as the comments themselves. Townsend, known for her bold style, aggressive net play, and emotional fire, had stepped onto the court with determination. She has long been celebrated for her willingness to fight for every point, regardless of the opponent across the net. In this US Open clash, that same energy was on full display. The match unfolded with intensity, marked by swings and momentum that left the crowd buzzing. Townsend battled fiercely, as she has throughout her career, never yielding even when pressured by her opponent's sharp baseline hitting. Yet, the true storm did not come during the rallies. It came afterward, when her rival, during the post-match reflections, chose words that Townsend interpreted as minimizing her effort and, in her eyes, crossing the line into disrespect. For Townsend, it wasn't about being defeated, it was about the way she was spoken about after giving everything on the court. For her, respect between players is not conditional upon the scoreline, it's an acknowledgement of the shared struggle and grind that all professionals endure to perform at the highest level. Townsend's response, "she doesn't understand." After hearing the rival's comments, Townsend didn't shy away from speaking her truth. She addressed the remarks head-on, explaining how they struck her not only as insulting but also as emblematic of a lack of deeper understanding. "She doesn't understand," Townsend emphasized, making it clear that her frustration wasn't solely about herself but about a broader issue within the sport. To Townsend, respect means recognizing the sacrifices every athlete makes, the early mornings, the grueling training sessions, the physical and emotional toll, the injuries, and the resilience required to rise again. It also means understanding the battles that some players face off the court, whether it's body image struggles, financial hurdles, or the constant doubt cast upon them by critics who underestimate their potential. Her statement cut through the usual polite press conference remarks. It was raw, unfiltered, and deeply personal. Fans who have followed Townsend's journey know that her career has never been a straightforward one. From the beginning, she was a standout junior player, but she was met with skepticism, scrutiny, and at times, harsh judgment about her fitness and body type. For her, the fight for respect has always been about more than just the scoreboard, it's been about proving her worth in a sport that hasn't always embraced her. A deeper story of struggle and resilience. To fully appreciate why Townsend's response resonated so strongly, one must understand the broader narrative of her career. From her teenage years, she was hailed as one of America's brightest prospects. Yet, instead of being universally celebrated, she was subjected to commentary about her weight and fitness. Unlike many of her peers who were allowed to develop without such scrutiny, Townsend carried the extra burden of criticism from officials, media, and even within tennis institutions. But Townsend never allowed those judgments to define her. She built her game around her strengths, her fearless net play, her touch, her creativity, and her undeniable willpower. Over the years, she has become one of the most respected doubles players on the tour, known for her ability to turn matches with her daring volleys and court presence. In singles, too, she has produced memorable runs, including shocking top-seeded players on grand stages. That resilience, forged through adversity, is why disrespect stings her even more deeply. She has fought too hard, sacrificed too much, and endured too much criticism to allow dismissive remarks to go unchallenged. Her words after the US Open were not only a defense of herself but also a defense of athletes everywhere who have had their worth diminished by careless comments. The importance of respect in tennis. Tennis, more than many other sports, thrives on individual character. Matches are often decided not only by skill but by mental toughness, composure, and the ability to maintain respect under pressure. Rivalries in tennis can be fierce, but at their best, they are underpinned by mutual recognition of effort and talent. When that respect is absent, tensions escalate quickly. We've seen it throughout history, iconic rivalries turning bitter, players trading barbs in press conferences, and fans taking sides. While this can add drama, it can also erode the sense of sportsmanship that tennis prides itself on. Townsend's call-out of disrespect struck a chord because it wasn't simply about a personal feud, it was about the principles that define the sport. Her insistence that her rival doesn't understand was not an attack for the sake of drama but a reminder that empathy and acknowledgement matter as much as victory. Fan reactions and the wider conversation. Once Townsend's remarks surfaced, the conversation spread rapidly among fans and commentators. Some applauded her for standing up for herself, praising her courage to call out behavior she deemed unacceptable. They saw her words as part of a larger battle for fairness in sports, where athletes, especially women, are often scrutinized in ways that go beyond their on-court performances. Others argued that rivalries naturally involve tension and that comments in the aftermath of a match shouldn't be overanalyzed. Yet even those who downplayed the controversy acknowledged that Townsend's words carried authenticity. She wasn't playing to the cameras, she was speaking from her lived experience. Social media lit up with messages of support, many highlighting how Townsend's journey has inspired countless fans who admire her persistence and fearlessness. For them, her willingness to address disrespect was not only justified but necessary, showing that athletes are no longer willing to accept dismissive attitudes without pushing back. Lessons for the sport. What can the tennis world learn from this moment? First, that respect is not optional, it's fundamental. Athletes dedicate their lives to this game, and while rivalries can spark passion and competitiveness, they should never lead to the belittling of effort.